What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're taking a look at the Lochby Pocket Journal. This is a waxed canvas case designed to carry your 3.5 by 5.5 inch notebooks and the accessories you carry with them, while still being able to just slot it into your back pocket. Now, this is available on the Lochby website for $49, but while taking a look at them, I did notice that they were part of an affiliate program I'm already enrolled with, and so I was able to secure a coupon code UncommonEDC, which will save you 10% when purchasing directly through Lochby, so I will put all of those details in the description of this video. Now let's get into it. I already mentioned that this is a wax canvas case. One of my favorite materials for pouches and bags and things like that, because it's pretty thin and lightweight, yet incredibly durable. It's going to be water resistant with that wax impregnated canvas, and it also just looks beautiful. I think it ages really nicely, similar to leather, and you can't say that for every material. I think this one looks better after a little bit of carry and wear than when the day you get it, and so a really nice aspect of wax canvas. Now I went with the brown because it's kind of a classic traditional look as far as wax canvas goes, but it's also available in black or navy if that's more your speed. Now, mention that it will fit 3.5 by 5.5 inch notebooks, and it doesn't have to be theirs, although it does ship with a Tomtoe River Notebook. This will work with your field notes and your Log and Jotters as well, as long as they're the same dimensions. And the footprint of it isn't all that much bigger than the notebooks, which is why it will still fit into your back pocket. So we're looking at 4.2 inches wide, 6.5 inches tall, and about 3/4 of an inch thick. As you can see, anything you put on the outside will extend that width, but I tried to stay with more slim items so that we keep that minimal profile overall. So on the front, we have these two organizational pockets. There's a Lochby tag up top and two organizational pockets. This one is wide enough to accommodate some larger gears. Things like slimmer knives may fit in there. I didn't want to bulk it out too much, so I went with the ruler. And I probably won't use it too much for the ruler aspect of it. This is a NAS titanium ruler, an angle finder, 6 inches long. But it is nice to have a straight edge if you like to doodle and just kind of sketch out ideas sometimes. Kind of nice to have a straight edge. I'm not great at drawing straight lines without the ruler, and so I do like to include one with my notebook from time to time. You can also just use a second notebook if you have it. Use the cover of the notebook for the same thing. Right now I only have one notebook in here. It can accommodate more than one though, if that's what you'd like to do. And so right next to that, we have a pen slot. I went with the Bastion bolt action carbon fiber pen. I have a separate video on this one if you'd like to check that out, but went with the slim just to, again, keep that lower profile. Now, this is about the thickness of most pens. A lot of Bastion pens tend to be a little bit thicker, which I thought would bulk it out a little bit, probably about the size of a Sharpie, but those will fit here as well if that's what you'd like to load out. And let me just grab a second ruler so we can take a look at the width of those pockets. So this first one is just about 2.5 inches exactly, maybe a hair under, and the pen one is probably a little over 1.25 inches, about 1.25 inches of usable real estate. It does go into that seam a little bit further, but you should be able to fit most of your pens, pencils, or Sharpies, except for those really wide ones, obviously. Now, flipping over to the back, we do have this pocket back here that spans the entire width of the pouch itself, and it can technically fit another notebook. It's a bit of a tight fit, especially if you have more than one notebook on the interior. If it's only one notebook, it can technically take one. I find it to be a little bit tighter. I've been testing it out with pry bars and stuff like that, but what I found is that if you have anything, like you can see I was testing them kind of in the middle here, if you have anything in the middle, when you're trying to write on it, it does kind of create this awkward risen point in the center or wherever it's lined up with, and so I ended up just not putting anything in the back at all. Definitely going to be better for your flatter items, and this is also the side I have against my body, and so nice to have that flat surface, not creating any weird awkward hot spots. Now, all secured with a YKK zipper, clamshell style opening, so it's going to open just like a book. Does ship with this paracord zipper pull on here, but they didn't clip the regular zipper pull off also, so if you want to remove that, you'll still have your regular zipper pull. I kind of like it there because it keeps it from rattling too much, and if you'd like, you can also add some sort of lanyard pull and a bead on there, which would look nice, but I'm just going to leave it as is. It works and gives you plenty of access to that zipper while keeping it rattle free. Now inside we have our Lochby notebook. As I mentioned, this will fit other style of notebooks. It can also fit multiple, so you just slot that back cover into the sleeve over here and it is ready to go. You have full access to all of the other pages except that back cover. Now if you want to carry a second one, you can slide one right in behind that. Or you can take the front cover and slot it into this side over here and use both simultaneously. So that's really nice if you have one that you use for work and one that you use for personal. If it's something where you're almost out of space on the first one and you're just carrying the second as a replacement, better to slot it in back here where it's not going to be usable, but you can easily swap them out once this one fills up, because you do lose access to the pockets behind here if you end up using a second notebook in this slot. And so you can see that honeycomb nylon high-vis pattern on here, so easy to see what's in here. That first slot that I put the cover in, you can also use for small items like receipts, cash, folded cash. I end up folding this in half to fit that in here, but you can do receipts or pages you tear out of your notebook, whatever you want in there, any small items. But behind that, you have 3 more organizational pockets. 2 of them are made to fit credit cards or business cards. And so right now I have 2 credit cards slotted in the bottom, a stack full of my YouTube business cards on the top. Now normally I just slotted the credit cards in there to show it. Normally I would have my YouTube business cards up top, my regular business cards on the bottom. I'm not technically using this as a wallet, although it will function. Do want to note these slots are a little bit tighter, so you have to be pretty minimalist if you're using this as a wallet. I have 2 cards in there that's a somewhat tight fit. It will definitely fit a third, but after that it's starting to get tight. So if you carry 5 to 6 cards, this might be perfect. You can put the cash in that front pocket. Any more than that, you're probably going to want to carry a traditional wallet and maybe just put your backups or extras into this one. Now you see one more slot that I'm not making use of. This one is great for miniature pens, something like the O Pen Mini, a Pocket Pen. A lot of the mini pens will slot into here, but same thing as the back pocket, it creates kind of an awkward spot up here on the front. So if you have items in the front, they just don't play that well together. If you don't have items in the front, you'll see that item on the back if you put something thicker there. And since I already had a pen, I elected to not go that route, but I think it would work if you didn't put anything on the outside. To put a small pen in there, you can put like a USB flash drive. I'm not using it at all, and so I didn't feel like loading it out, but it is there if you'd like to make use of it. I guess we can measure these ones out. Again, that front one spans the entire height of the pouch itself. The back row are about a little over 3 inches deep, and they're about credit card width, so we're looking at 2¼ inches on the credit card slots and about 1 inch on that miniature pen slot or USB slot, whatever you're using that for. And so a lot of great organization on here, very minimalist still, which I really appreciate. And again, if you don't have 2 notebooks in there, it stays super slim and so gonna fit nicely in that back pocket. Now, I'm not someone who would usually sit on these. I don't know how that would fare with your gear. I would imagine it would be mostly fine, but anytime I carry stuff in my back pocket, whether it be a wallet, pouch, case, I end up pulling it out when I sit down if I'm driving in the car. So it's more of a point A to point B transport than something that's staying in there all day long. And so gonna be up to you, how do you carry it, but that's how I end up using these. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. I've been meaning to find more of these for a while now, so glad I came across this one. May see more of them. I did an early video with I think 5 of them on the channel, but a lot of those are no longer made, no longer available, and so I've been wanting to just kind of find a couple different options because that video still gets views and a lot of them are not available, so I just kind of felt bad about it. So on the market for more of these. If you have suggestions, definitely let me know down in the comments below as well. But thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the channel as a member. All help the channel out a ton, and as always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.